Welcome to today's edition of Trojan Talk. Today I'm here with Kenda and Austin Toy. They are both from Troy Public Radio, and I'm going to be talking to them about some of the very interesting things that they are involved in today. First of all, thank y'all so much for being here. I actually want to start off with Ann. I understand that you just got back from something called Crime Con. Can you tell me what was going on there and what you were doing there?
I did just get back from Crime Con. It was very fun. It is a very large conference of people who are interested in true crime. So that took place in Denver, so I got to go there and sit in on a bunch of seminars about true crime. Cold cases, well-known cases like Jean-Benet Ramsey, and there was a full 3 days, so there's a lot going on at Crime Con.
Yeah. You and I were talking earlier about one specific case of a case that started off in Lauderdale, a prison guard that helped out an inmate. Can you tell me some more about that?
Sure. In April of 2022, Vicki White, who was a well-respected jail guard, she helped an inmate escape. They had a very unwise romantic relationship, and they had the idea that if they escaped, they could start a new life together. And it did end tragically, and there was a lot going on with that case, so we decided to do a podcast which is called Inside Job Understanding Vicki White, and it came out this summer. It was Troy Public Radio's first true crime podcast, with hopefully more coming, but it was such an interesting case, so I got to work with Austin on that, and we put together 5 episodes.
Okay, wow, that sounds very interesting. I'll have to check that out. I do want to jump over to Austin and ask you a few questions. I understand that you are putting something together called Inquire. Could you maybe explain to me what that's all about?
Yeah, so I'm the producer for Inquire, and it's INCHOIR, Inquire, because it's a choral music podcast. Conversations about choral music, the arts, and life. It's hosted by Diane Orlovsky and Scott Sexton, and they talk to singers, composers, all sorts of choral music people. Great conversations, very meditative, very zen, and also lots of great music in the podcast.
You also are involved with something called Sound of the Stage. Could you explain to the viewers at home and myself what that is as well?
Yeah, I have a very minor role with Sounds of the Stage. It's really all the work of Joey Hudson, who's our host of All Things Considered. He's the producer, and Quentin Cockrell is a theater professor who works on the show. And what they're doing with that is they're bringing to life scenes from plays, from history, or from whatever. And the underlying theme of the scenes is that there's a sound that's the connection, right? So the first one is from A Doll's House, and there's a very famous door slam that symbols a big change in the play, and so that's the sound of the stage. And so they got student actors from Troy University are taking on these roles and coming in and doing little scenes, and then Quentin and Joey are discussing the scenes and the context and also talking to other theater experts.
For those at home, where can viewers find those programs that you were talking about?
They can find all the Troy Public Radio podcasts at today.troy.edu/podcasts.
All right, perfect. Thank y'all so much for being here. And for those at home, thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk.